that?
Ooh. I'm calling for Billy.
I told you those calls had certain means are only be used at the appointed times. You call at the wrong time, get someone killed.
I'm getting pretty good at it though, ain't I? Did you hear me?
Yeah. I guess you're getting good. Where's Billy at? He's supposed to meet us right here as the sun sets. You have to meet the others shortly after dark.
Now you know it's Billy. Being on time, not something he particularly skilled at.
He's not particularly skilled at anything, if you ask me. I don't know how he would have survived if it was for his ma Hannah.
Now I heard he was sent to Monticello to work in the nailery.
He was, but he was too ornery to follow orders. I mean, how hard is it to hammer a nail rod into a nail? And then he was sent to where he made wooden caskets and barrels and such, and he couldn't do that either, or at least didn't want to. He's one of the stubbornest individuals I've ever seen.
He may be, but I know he good at one thing.
And what's that?
Getting you to do whatever he wants you to do.
I do what I want to do. Not what Billy or anyone else tells me to do. Not even the overseers. But it just so happens what I want to do and Billy want to do are one and the same.
And that would be?
Getting up out here. What else would it be? It's about time.
I got held up.
By who?
Hannah. She was hell-bent on giving me one of her long talks.
Billy, was it about waiting on the Lord for your freedom?
Yes, you know, the same old thing.
And how Master Jefferson ain't gonna save us again?
Y'all two did get mighty lucky.
No, we didn't get lucky. Some exorcists in this godforsaken land right prevails over wrong.
I mean, Billy, why you think Master Jefferson spared you from being sold, or worse, after that fight that you had with Overseer Clark? From what I heard you went after him like a wild dog. Say you near bit his thumb clean off.
I didn't start that fight, but I sure finished it.
Overseer Clark wanted Billy to work on Sunday. Billy hardly worked on Monday, a Tuesday, or any other day of the week. I don't know what made Clark think he was going to get Billy work on Sunday.
When I'm out in the fields, I do what's expected. I can cut and pull tobacco with the best of them. On my days off, I'm not doing a damn thing. Clark found that out the hard way.
But Billy, you still ain't answered my question. Why you think Master Jefferson didn't sell you? Now, a slave just don't bite an overseer and live to tell about that.
Master Jefferson knows I'm a good worker on this plantation.
No, he know your mama Hannah is a good worker on his plantation. And he won't try to stir up the wrath of Hannah. You never know what extra seasoning she might add to them peas. And I heard he likes the peas.
If I was you, Uncle Hercules, I wouldn't talk too much about putting things in people's food.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Don't act like you don't know.
I don't know.
You don't remember about 3 years ago? The sickness? Everyone here was sick, including you.
Yeah, I remember it. A stomach ailment or whatever it was. A lot of people died and got sick from it.
But if I was remember correctly, you got better while mostly everybody else was either still sick or dying.
I can't help it. I was just younger, stronger, and healthier than the others.
That ain't what the people were saying.
And what was the people saying?
They were saying that you was...
That you was working with the witch doctor to make people sick.
Mm-hmm.
Now I heard those stories, and think about it. If I had that kind of power, why would I waste it on making people sick? I mean, what purpose would that serve?
I can think of a few.
Oh, hush up. If I had that kind of power, I would conjure up one of them chariots him be talking about. The one that carried that prophet.
Elijah, yeah.
Yes, Elijah. You remember Hannah telling us the prophet Elijah was carried to heaven by a chariot of fire?
So you was ready to go to heaven?
Hell no, I was just trying to go up north. They didn't drop me off on their way to heaven.
That ain't the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Maybe so, but what I'm saying is, why would I conjure up a sickness if I conjure up a chariot, a horse, a wagon?
As a distraction.
Distraction for what?
You make everybody else sick as a distraction so that you can escape the plantation without nobody noticing. The overseers too busy trying to figure out how to get the work done. And everybody else either treating the sick or trying to avoid getting sick. And there you go, just easing off into the sunset. To freedom.
He right. Ain't nobody looking for you because they ain't too busy or too sick. Oh, actually, it's not a bad idea. A lot more clever than you look.
But I got sick too.
Even better. Make yourself sick enough to throw people off your track.
And the only thing is, and instead of escaping, you got well.
And was just strutting around like a rooster in a hen house.
Didn't I
Uncle
tell
Hercules,
you
that's
about
you.
that?
You said don't make the secret bird calls. A rooster wasn't one of
Running that mouth. Folks was dying or wishing that they were dead, and there you were, shining like a new penny.
them. Billy, a new penny with a hole in it.
Shiny and useless.
Now, Uncle Hercules, tell the truth. What really happened, and why didn't you get as sick as everybody else?
Yeah, tell us.
And if I remember correctly, you was seen in the company of that medicine man who came through here during that time.
Well, if y'all must know, the Negro doctor asked me to help him treat folks. He said a white man's medicine won't make much difference. You know, overseers didn't care what remedies were used. They just want folks to get well and get back in them fields.
That still doesn't answer my question, though. How'd you get so well so quickly?
Well, truth be told, he gave me this potion. Then he said some words I didn't understand, and that was it. He said he wanted to see if I got well first, and it did.
Oh, you see that? Now, what was in this here medicine that he gave you? And how come it wasn't given to the others?
Plants, berries, other things, I don't know. He showed me how to make it, but I guess I missed some.
So you try to mix it up yourself
Yes,
and gave it to people?
in a way.
In a way.
I might have mixed some of the food that was served to some of the folks that was ailing. I mean, what can it hurt? They were already definitely ill.
Hold on, move it. So you put some homemade slop together
It wasn't
and
like
just
that.
fed it to them folks?
No wonder Yancey wanted to have you home.
Look, I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. Folks just looking for somebody to blame.
And Uncle Hercules, what if the plants you picked was poison?
You should have asked me.
I know all about them plants and them berries and such. I listens to the elders. Old folk be knowing.
It wasn't no poisonous plants. It was things we already eat. I just didn't mix it in the right order or say the right words. It didn't make folks no better or worse. It didn't do nothing.
But how you know that?
I just know.
So you know that Billy Pop died from the sickness.
Yeah, I know. I had nothing to do with that. And Billy knows it.
Leave it alone, Godwin. Hercules had nothing to do with Hal's death. Hannah took care of him the whole time. She's a healer herself. She did everything that she could do for him. He just wasn't strong enough to pull through.
Now, Uncle Hercules, I don't think you deliberately just hurt nobody. But I do know you's always up to something.
Now, I do know you need to stop running that mouth.
So, you don't know about stuff being stolen either?
Yeah. Hannah was asking me if I knew anything about that. She thought it had something to do with things coming up missing.
My mama asked me the same thing.
So let me see. Now, I made stuff disappear, made people sick, even killed a few. If I was y'all, I'd be very scared of it.
Ain't nobody scared of you, you deliberate fool. You accidental scoundrel.
Maybe so, but I was clever enough to avoid punishment for both Master Jefferson and Yancey.
Master Jefferson needed workers, but I will say you did escape the fear of Yancey very handedly. Yancey didn't just want sweat from you, he wanted your blood. Why was he so dead set on being rid of you?
Because he'd never catch me doing anything.
And what was you doing?
I'll take that to my grave, boy. The less you both know, the better. Let's just say I have to be like the fox. What's wrong with you?
Did you just say you'd be like the fox? You sound like Hannah now.
See, your mama Hannah more like a sly fox. Hercules more like a rabid one.
Okay, let's put our foxy senses to good use and plan on how we're gonna get up out of this place.
I'm ready.
I'm well past ready.
Now we all know Hercules and I are on borrowed time. Been accused of various wrongdoings. Real or imagined, don't matter. The outcome still be the same, as Garland pointed out. We've been very lucky to escape from being sold or worse.
Our luck ain't gonna hold out much longer.
That's my point. They believe I'm saying this. My mom is right. Mr. Jefferson can't keep sparing us. That's a bad example for the others. It makes him and the overseers look weak. He needs the work done, but more importantly, he needs to feel respected.
Master Jefferson nor the overseers care less what we think of them.
That may be true to some degree, but folks find out they can get away with stuff they will and the overseers lose control.
Now, I heard some slaves down south planning an attack on slave owners there. They calls it a slave revolt. How come we couldn't do something like that here? It's power in numbers, and it's way more us than them.
You must have only heard parts of the story. Slaves did try to revolt just a short time ago. The overseers were talking openly about it.
It was?
Yes, they wanted us to overhear them because the revolt wasn't successful, and lots of slaves were killed either by white mobs or hanging after being tried.
So now I reckon we all under suspicion.
And fear.
Very right. Which makes everything that we do going forward even more dangerous.
We cannot make them same mistakes of them slaves in the south. We must not fail.
True words have never been spoken. Do you want to know why the revolt wasn't successful?
Why?
Because of what the overseers call snitches.
What's that?
It's people who can't keep their mouths shut. People who look like us.
Why y'all looking at me?
Because if we are to escape, no one can know about our plan. Nobody.
It would make y'all think eyes will tell.
First, you ask too many questions. Secondly, you snitch every time you use those bird calls out in the open like you did earlier. We told you they're to only be used at the appointed times.
Godwin, you knowing about nature will come in handy. We're really going to have to rely on each other. Only as good as our weakest link. That'd be Hercules. Not you.
Oh, Hercules!
Are you two done with this foolishness? We need to make haste to meet the others shortly.
You remember what we discussed the other day? What are the 4 rules of our escape plan?
That we'll know it's time when we hear the bird calls. And we'll respond in kind, no matter what.
We will move without hesitation, no matter what.
Stay together, no matter what.
And we won't look back, no matter what.
22, Billy stabbed another overseer, a man named William Goff. While his mother Hannah staunched the bleeding, saving Goff's life, Billy, Hercules, and Gowan ran. They were captured within days and jailed in Lynchburg. All 3 enslaved men were charged with conspiracy to incite a slave revolt, but Jefferson hired a competent lawyer to defend them, and they were quickly acquitted for lack of evidence. Only Billy was found guilty of a crime, namely stabbing Goff, and was sentenced to be burnt in the hand and whipped. Despite the acquittal, Jefferson sent Billy, Hercules, Gowan, and one other enslaved man from Poplar Forest named Manuel to Louisiana. They were hired out to Colonel Grogan in St. John the Baptist Parish. Unfortunately, both Hercules and Gowan died from illness within a year. Manuel also became sick, but we are not certain if he ever recovered. Billy also became ill, but ran away from the plantation after his recovery. He made his way to New Orleans, where he was captured and jailed. He was then retrieved from jail and subsequently sold. We do have a few more minutes for a Q&A, so I'd like to invite Teresa Harris and members of our archaeology department, and also the cast, to come back up. And please, if you have a question, just raise your hand and I'll come over with the mic.
Jail in Louisiana is the last we know of him. We don't know yet who he was sold to. We're still looking.
Any other questions?
How did you all feel, please, sir? I'm the first official. With this, of course, being my first time doing it, I've seen it done before. I think it was a great opportunity to, in a way, reconnect with the ancestors and also do this on the soil in which real things happen in real time, and also being able to retell their stories. So it's definitely an opportunity that I'm thankful for, and I'm glad that we had the supporters come out and basically just show love and really be understanding concerning what this looks like. We appreciate all of you all showing up. So I think I felt great about it. I think there were a lot of things I thought about first kind of coming into what this role is. We had someone, and I asked a similar question last time we had done it. There's so many things that have happened throughout history concerning our people. And he was like, when I'm preparing for this role, I don't want to take some of those things and, in essence, carry those in my body when it comes to what this looks like. So trying to find a balance between maybe those things, but then also recreating it and adding a spin to it, but still being respectful to what has happened throughout history was a very interesting time. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, just piggybacking on what Rob said. I don't know for anybody else, but this is my second time playing Billy. So understand being on the plantation, and I know for all of us, we could feel it once we stepped on here. The trauma that our ancestors went through, and it was certain things that I could take from mindset of what it was like being a slave back in those times, but not to be 100% traumatized by it. And Billy from the incredible script Teresa wrote, it brought me back into a mindset that I'm more conscious about my history, our history, and I just am thankful for the experience, because I've never experienced anything like this before.
Well, this is my first time doing anything like this. I have no acting experience at all, but thank you. I think we killed that and we did a great job, but you know, it's just nice to honor ancestors and bring their stories to life for more people to know about them and their history, because, you know, all these characters are real people. And when you think of slavery, you just see the images of them working on the fields, but what you don't see is that there was a community there as well that interacted with each other throughout the day and helped uplift each other and get through slavery together as a community. So, you know, it was an honor to play Hercules. I saw a lot of similarities between me and the character, and just pulling myself into him and wanted to do a good job at portraying him. Thank you.
Did any of those have offspring of their own?
So the question was if any of the characters up here had offspring. No. You may or may not have picked up on it, but Gowan is the youngest of the three. He's 18. And Hercules is his uncle, about 10 years older than him. And Billy's about smack in the middle. 23. I had a question. Teresa, why did you want to showcase this particular story here at Roots and Reconnections?
That's a question. I do want to say I'm so proud of Justin and Kim and Robbie. They did such an amazing job with relatively short time to do it. And these young men are probably the three of the hardest working people in this area. They're so busy, so getting together was challenging. So for them to be able to pull this off and did a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of them. The reason, am I still on? Okay. The reason I wanted to do this particular story, first of all, I love giving dimension to people who are often seen as one-dimensional. I wanted people to understand that the enslaved at Poplar Forest during that period of time was not that much different from people today. In fact, they were our ancestors, and in many cases, people are literally descendants from the enslaved who lived here. So I wanted them to be living, breathing, active, resilient, resourceful, creative people, and that's what I tried to show. Slavery was horrific, but as we know from our experiences from slavery on, we as a people have been able to rise above the negativity, the oppression, all the things that have happened to us. We somehow continue to rise, if I may quote Maya Angelou. But the reason I wanted to do this particular story was because I was intrigued. It dealt with a little bit of the superstition and some of the medicine that may have been passed down from our African ancestors. So I was interested in talking about that. Plus, it gave me an opportunity to continue the story, particularly of Billy. Billy has been part of the Days Past and Gone trilogies from the beginning, where I introduced him and his relationship with his mother, Hannah. So this was, I think, the second or third opportunity to showcase him as a young man, a young rebellious man, and someone who, despite the audacity of it, had the belief that there was more, even though there was nothing really for him to base that on. But he knew that there was something more to what he was experiencing on the plantation, and was constantly striving to rise above whatever the system of slavery was trying to do to him. So I admire everything that he continued to do. He never gave up. He never allowed the system to beat him down. He was fighting the whole time. And, it's kind of the same thing with Gowan and Hercules. Did y'all see what I did there earlier with Hercules? Y'all pick that up? Anyway, I know that was completely creative license. Thank you, Poplar Forest, for allowing me that indulgence. But I couldn't resist. And y'all are the nutty professor, you know, came from. But anyway, I was excited to introduce these and continue to introduce these three phenomenal young men to the world, and in a way that otherwise you would not know about them. So that was the reason that I chose the story.
I was asked to tell you how large this plantation originally was. When Jefferson inherited the property in 1773, it was roughly 5,000 acres. The exact number is debated to this day. We think 4,800 is a very close number. We currently, as a nonprofit museum, hold a little over 600 acres, if that gives you roughly an understanding how big it is. We are not aware of a cemetery for enslaved people on the current property. We think we may know where one is nearby, but it is on private property, so. So the space that we are currently sitting in is what we call the south lawn, or the sunken lawn, and you see that it is sunken. It was hand dug by a crew of enslaved men led by at least one man we know definitely worked on this, was a man named Phil Hubbard, who in relation to our vignette here is Billy's uncle. It's his mom's little brother. Eric, exactly what years were those? 1807, 1808. It was about the same time that the foundation of the house and wine cellar were being dug, and the soil that was dug up in the lawn is the basis for the two mounds that you see on the other side of the house.
Were any of them married, like the uncle or anything like that? Did he have a wife, like marriage or anything?
No, none of these characters were married. Let's see if I can explain exactly how they're related. Hercules' older brother. His older brother is his dad. Billy is not related by marriage or blood. He's just a friend.
Does Miss Teresa have any more skits or plays that she does often or around?
I don't know how tonight's not working or not. Thank you for that question. We will be doing, I think we have a date already. We will be doing The Day is Passing On in May of 2026. It's the last weekend, I believe, in May. So we'll do hopefully some news stories. I'm always looking for news stories to write about. Were here or fascinating. The stories are just fascinating. Other than that, I do have, this sounds like a shameless plug, but I do have something totally unrelated to this, probably in February, probably in February of, and I'll try to do a better job of promoting it on Facebook, but, and Karen is one of the she's such a great supporter of mine, and she helps me make sure I get the word out about the various things. But I do have a project coming up in February for Black History Month. Still trying to figure out exactly what that will be, but like I said, I'll try to make sure that it's publicized so that people will be aware. But thank you for asking. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Teresa. Thank you to our wonderful cast. Thank you, Karen. This was fabulous. So, thank you so much. Next up, right away, in about 2 minutes, we have Gloria Simon, who will be giving a talk, and the title of her talk is "It Was a Tuesday." The story, sorry, let me pull this up. But it's Tuesday, the story of MLK visiting Lynchburg. And I believe Gloria is going to be speaking from right near the lunch tent. So we appreciate having Gloria here with us. She is in the admissions department at the University of Lynchburg and is also one of the founding members of the Legacy Museum.